What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Litecoin. Right now we're sitting at $134. We're down 10% today. And we're going to be looking at Litecoin on the 1 week time frame. I really wanted to step back and I want to talk about the cryptocurrency space. And you know, guys, on a lot of videos I mention that markets need to breathe. Just like a human, we talk about this when we sprint, we're going to have to take that little time to breathe before we can go again. And it's very unhealthy for a market, just like you can see last time here when we went straight up. We went straight down. Okay, so you need to be aware of these things. We don't want our markets to go straight up. We want them to pump, have that nice impulse wave, and then a corrective wave. Then we're going to pump again. And I believe this is healthy, what's going on in the cryptocurrency space with Bitcoin, you know, taking a breather, being down around 32,000 when I was covering it earlier today. You know, Litecoin as well, we are getting overextended. The RSI on the 1 week time frame was all the way up around 87. So I think this is really healthy for us. And could we go a little bit deeper? Absolutely. On the 1 week time frame here, we're still up above our 14 EMA, our 20 EMA, our 50, our 100, and our 200 right now. So what you can see, though, is that we had a bearish engulfing candle last week, and it came on heavy volume. So we pushed up to around $181, and then we had this bearish engulfing candle that came in. And that was a sign there on heavy volume that we may have a little bit more of a retracement. And you can see right here, we tried to push back up to around 166, but there's a lot of profit taking there. That's why we have that long wick right now. We have not closed for the week yet, but I want you to pay attention to this candle because this could show that we're going to have a little bit more downside, maybe even down to that 14 EMA, which would be around $101, $100 psychologically as well. We'd see if we could defend that if we continue to move to the downside, and then be around that 20 EMA, which is going to be at around $98.83. Would be an area I'd want to see if we could hold that as support. And another thing I like to do, I like to throw a Fibonacci on here, and I want to go from our low. So this entire move here, our swing low from around $25 all the way up to our 187, we'll call it 188, right in that range. What I want to pay attention to are typical retracement areas. And in this space, you'll get a lot back to the 0.382, and that would correlate with this area here at around $87.47, all the way down to that 0.5, because we can have 50% corrections, guys. I just want you to realize that in this space, and I'm going to show you some in the previous bull market that we had. But what you can see is down to even that 0.5 would be at around $70. We could pull and cool down all the way to this area before we pumped again. That's absolutely a possibility. If Bitcoin continues to keep moving to the downside, and say Bitcoin hits $25,000, somewhere around that range, that would probably put Litecoin back around $87, $85, right in that range. But what I feel like, and this is not financial advice, this is just my opinion on it, if we got back to those areas, that would be a great potential buy area for a longer term hold while you're riding these market cycles out, because we have not seen the true altcoin season yet. And that's just my opinion. I know other people have different opinions on it. We have not hit that full altcoin cycle yet. Okay, if we step back, I wanted to point out a few other things here when we're looking at Litecoin. I just don't believe when I'm looking at this. Okay, guys, and anything in the market can change. Okay, let's step back here. So you can see here when we were having these retracements last time, 66%, 52%. Over here even, in this cycle that we've had, 40% to the downside. We'd had close to 40% to the downside to the wick here. If we get this out as well, take a look. So that's been about 40% to the downside. That's what I'm saying. We still even may have a little bit more back into this area, and we have to be aware of that. And I think it would present some great buying opportunities for a longer term hold, and that's just me. You know, if we actually look at this here, and this is all on the log scale, and we step back and we just draw a little bit of a trend line here, we're going to try to get as many touches as possible. So we'd have one touch here, we'd have another here, we came close here, another one here, and you can see we've had that weekly on the weekly, a trend line breakout on heavier volume. I just don't feel like this is done. We may come back into this area, but I do believe we're going to have another pump in Litecoin at some point here throughout the altcoin season. Is going to get back up to around that all-time high, and that would put us back around $416. May take, you know, weeks and months to get there, but I do believe we'll get back to that point. And you can see also here, guys, just looking at this whole cycle that we've had for Litecoin, you can see this massive double bottom that we put in. So it was around $21, and this was back on December 3rd, 2018, spanned this whole distance here all the way to March 2020, had that massive double bottom, and now we're moving out of there. So my opinion is I don't think Litecoin's done. I don't think Bitcoin's done. Even with Bitcoin, we may go back to 25,000, 20,000, retest the previous all-time high where we broke out, back test it. But, you know, I like to trade this stuff because there's great opportunities with these massive swings. But if you're just a longer-term investor, you know, this is where you would just want to sit back, because on the weekly here, you're still looking good on all your moving averages. You're in an uptrend. That's where you're just sitting back and saying, okay, if it does a massive dump and I'm really encouraged by Litecoin and I like Litecoin, that's when I add a little bit more. And that's how you play the game whenever you have those massive pullbacks. Now, traders, swing traders, you're trying to protect your profit the best that you can. Now, on the weekly, the RSI is at 66.78 right now. And then on the stock, we're sitting at 65 and 83. And you can see we're getting that downside cross as well with the bearish engulfing here. So just be careful with that. And I wanted to read you something here. It says market corrections. And this is out of my book, The Moonshiner's Short-Term Trading Bible, 10 Commandments. This is a really good book here. And what it goes on to say is, not many people like winter, rain, and snow, but those showers bring in the spring flowers in much the way that the market needs to go through periodic corrections. They're no fun, but smart investors know corrections refresh the market for the next big rally. They allow strong stocks to form healthy bases and allow new leaders to emerge. These leaders are usually the first out of the gate when the market turns up. And that's kind of like Litecoin. When Bitcoin gets going, Litecoin will get going as well. And many times you'll even outpace Bitcoin. Now, when Bitcoin dumps, Litecoin's going to dump a little harder, and you need to be aware of that. But it goes on to say, when institutions decide to pull their money out of the market declines. When institutions decide to buy back in, the market changes course and rallies. You know, so we're always watching that volume as well. We want to see what the buying pressure is looking like, what's the selling pressure looking like. These are the things we're going to pay a lot of attention to. So as we're working up through here, just want to go over this another time. So support areas, we're going to start from the bottom, work our way up. What I'm looking at is $68.05. Then it would be up around $93.53. And then right now, even where we're at here, about 125.73 is what we need to hold, unless we're going to start going down and testing that round psychological number of 100. Now, if we get moving to the upside, we need to get roughly over top of $165, then it'd be up over top of that 181, and then we'd have a clear shot up to around $200. But this is just an area we're really going to have to watch Bitcoin, but I do not believe we've had this climax top yet. You see this huge parabolic run on climax volume. We have not seen that yet. So that, to me, implies that once the correction's over, there's going to be another huge impulse wave to the upside, most likely. Remember, anything can happen in this space, guys, and that's why risk management is the key. And that's why I also don't use leverage. In my opinion, I would not be using leverage in this space. I just don't think you should, because look at the wicks. And they can liquidate your whole position if you're doing stuff crazy like 10x, 20x. I mean, if you're going to do any type of leverage, keep it under 3x, in my opinion. 3x or lower, but still, I mean, spot altcoins offer plenty of volatility in this space. So don't freak out, guys. Have a plan. That's what it's all about. This volatility is great in the market. We need to cool down. It's healthy for the longer term trend. So let me know down low what you're doing. I'd really love to hear if you're hodling, if you're trading. Let me know down low. And if you guys are ever interested in TradingView, check it out in the description link there. I got it. You can do free, whatever it is, free TradingView. It'll have ads and everything, but my link's in the description box if you're interested in how to trade with the charts and everything like that. TradingView is a good program. So God bless you all, guys. Take care.